Today, the smart money is in Bitcoin. And so buying a Bitcoin is just like buying into New York City 250 years ago.
My question is 0.1 Bitcoin of any significance?
You know, New York was the greatest city in North America by about 1776, and you would have been late to the party. But the question is, would you buy a city block in New York in 1776? Or if you waited till 1876 and you were really late to the party and New York was the greatest city in North America, was it too late to buy a city block in New York City in 1876? Or how about 1976? If you were 200 years late to New York City, if you look at the property values of New York in 1976, what you'll find is you would be rich if you had actually bought real estate in New York in 1976. So the answer to the issue is, in every economic system, there's always one city, one place, one network where people gravitate to. And in the ancient Med, it was Carthage for a while, and then it was Rome, and then it was Venice, and eventually the French Empire terminated in Paris, and the British Empire terminated in London, and then eventually the American economic empire terminated in New York. And there are reasons why. It's just everybody comes together in that place. Even today, New York is still the economic epicenter of the United States. Why do people go to New York? Because the smart money is in New York. So why would you be so stupid as to go to New York? Well, because that's where the money is. The money is in New York. So I went. And what did I bring with me? I brought my brain power and I built my business there. And so I then reinforced that network effect. And so Bitcoin represents the economic epicenter of cyberspace. If I want to create a digital application, if I want to move money at the speed of light, and I live in Singapore, I'm using Bitcoin. If I live in Paris, I'm using Bitcoin. If I live in Moscow, I'm using Bitcoin. So you see, everybody in the world that actually believes in the idea of a digital asset, that wants to build this as a treasury reserve asset, they're going to gravitate toward the most powerful network. Today, the smart money is in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's about a $500 billion network. How big can it get? Well, 500 trillion, 1,000x bigger in today's dollars. There's about $950 trillion worth of wealth out there, 350 trillion worth of real estate. Half of it is just capital or monetary premium. $300 trillion worth of bonds. Half of it is just a monetary premium. 100 trillion worth of equity. Half of it is a monetary premium. 11, 12 trillion worth of gold, 80% of it is a monetary premium. As the world gets smarter, people are going to sell those things because they don't make good money. If you store your money in gold, you're losing half of your wealth every 35 years. It's not working. In the last 2.5 years, gold is down 5%, Bitcoin is up 150%. The smart money is clearly running away from it, and in time, people will dump their gold, and when they dump their gold, Bitcoin will jump by a factor of 10. So the answer to the question of why you should buy a Bitcoin is a Bitcoin represents one block in cyber New York, which has got 21 million blocks for all of eternity. And in the year 2500, people are going to be moving to cyber New York. As long as you did business in an analog world where you had to like put on a suit and walk into a building and meet with people, then you're going to see London and Paris and Tokyo and Hong Kong be great cities. When the economy moves to the digital realm and you don't have to put on a suit and walk into a building and you can have a Zoom meeting of 20 people in 20 places and raise $1 billion in a day, then some of the economic energy drains out of the city networks and it drains into the crypto network. Buying a Bitcoin is just like buying into New York City 250 years ago. I once tweeted, I think Bitcoin is going the way of online gambling, and I think Bitcoin's like $100 a coin then, okay? And I was wrong. When I needed Bitcoin, Bitcoin was $9,500, $10,000 a coin. And so I bought it at $10,000 instead of $100. People will buy it at 100,000. They will buy it at 1 million. They will probably buy it at 10 million. You have to ask the question, what is the dominant network in cyberspace? And Bitcoin is the dominant network. And the reason it's the dominant network is a bunch of things. One, all the smart money arrived there. If all the smart people that wanted a decentralized, non-sovereign store of value crypto network, if they all showed up, looked at 10,000 choices and picked this one and put all their money on it, Bitcoin is backed by 400 exahash of digital energy, and 400 exahash of digital energy makes it the most powerful computer network in the world. And so if I'm going to put $1 billion on it, I would want the indestructible, nation-state resistant, fault-tolerant, most powerful computer network in the world. I want a network where you would need every computer in the world to slow it down 10%, and you would need all the electricity in the world to slow it down 10%. And that's what Bitcoin represents because of the way it's engineered. It represents an indestructible, unstoppable, most powerful computer network. And so if you're looking right now, you shouldn't look at it as, I wanted to buy something cheap and wait for it to go up 100x, so I better buy something that's a penny stock. It's not a matter of the cost to buy the thing. It's a question of how secure is the network you're buying into. So that would be my answer to that question.